Hi viewers, welcome to part 2 where we'll be discussing on how to reactivate your KRA PIN once it has been suspended by KRA due to tax compliance complications. So for that matter, what does KRA do?
So what the KRA does, through the value added tax automated system, it sends an email to the purchaser and also to the seller, telling the both of them, not telling the seller that we cannot be able to identify this transaction because the person that you purpose to have done business with has not declared the same amount.
So so KRA will think one of them is lying.
Yes, or maybe think that that transaction never happened.
Okay.
So what now the two of them, the purchaser and the seller, are supposed to do is not to ensure that they get their details correctly. If it is the transaction amount, if it is the date when the transaction happened, and also to ensure that they have the PIN for one another. So that now the system can be able to notice that it was just an error, but it was not an issue of tax evasion. So the other aspect that the VA is used by KRA to do is to detect when the VAT, when the purchaser, of course, let me start by saying that the person who has the obligation to file VAT returns every other time is the seller. Yes, the seller. The purchaser has no obligation to file for VAT returns unless if he's claiming for a refund from KRA, or he wants to use that input tax that he paid when he was paying for his purchases to reduce his tax obligation. But the seller, because the seller at any given point, he has been given money by the purchaser and has received money on behalf of the government. So he has to file. So assuming the seller files for VAT by 20th of the following month, because like now the VAT for this month of February is supposed to be filed by 20th of March. It is 20th of every March. 20th of every month. Of every month. Of the following month after the transaction has taken place. Now, if now the seller proceeds to file by 20th of the following month, and the purchaser does not do that, KRA will have no problem because it doesn't. It is not mandatory for the purchaser to file VAT returns unless he's claiming for it or wants to be refunded. But there's a twist because a purchaser has up to 6 months to claim for VAT input tax after the transaction took place. So the purchaser can put that claim anytime as long as 6 months have not lapsed since he did that transaction. So 6 months. So when the seller made his VAT returns, let's say in March, and actually said that he sold those items to a customer who was not registered for VAT, that story ended there. Until now, maybe in May or June, now the purchaser, all of a sudden, he decides to file for the purchases that he had bought in February. And now he will say, in February, I incurred I bought some purchases, and when I paid input VAT, so I want to either get refunded or to use this input VAT to reduce my VAT tax obligation or liability. Now there will be an inconsistency because the system will not be able to match the two, to reconcile the two, and understand that the input VAT that is being claimed by the purchaser in May is referring to the transaction that was referred by the seller in March. In March 2023, if we are talking about this year. So the VA again will be able to notice that problem. There's a mismatch, that anomaly.
And then it will send
communication to both the seller and the purchaser. And then they will be able to because now the purchaser will be asked by KRA, there is we cannot acknowledge this transaction because the seller who purportedly sold to you has not declared the same. Okay. Now it will be upon the purchaser to attach the KRA, the ETR receipt that he was given by the seller at the point of purchase. If there's any invoice, if there's any proof of payment, he will have to attach it and send to KRA. So that now KRA can acknowledge, yes, this was a transaction that was valid. The other problem that can happen is when the supplier, you remember, the supplier is the one who is mandated to file returns to KRA. The purchaser, he files if he wants. Depending whether he wants to claim it or he wants to get refunded. Now, if the seller, for instance, like a supermarket, when someone goes to the supermarket or to the petrol station, now the petrol station is the seller, the supermarket is the seller. Assuming now we use the example for the petrol station. You go with your car, you fuel 10,000, then you are given an ETR receipt by the petrol station if you ask for it. Then, when the petrol, but you don't leave your KRA PIN with the petrol station attendant. So when now the petrol station will be filing the VAT returns for this month by 20th of the following month, then they will say, they will assume you are not registered for VAT.
Because you didn't give them your PIN.
You didn't give them your PIN. So what they will do is, when they are filing, there's a column that they will declare all the VAT they have collected on behalf of the government from the people who are registered for VAT. And there's another column that they will declare all the VAT they have collected on behalf of the government from people who are not registered for VAT. So because they don't have your VAT, they will include
you in the list for those who are not registered for VAT.
Yes. And they file, and KRA is agreeable to that. Not until you also decide to file for VAT input tax the same month or a month later. And now, because you have their PIN, because if their PIN appears in the ETR receipt that they gave you. So when you are filing, you will be very specific. You have their PIN, and you will say, on this date, I purchased fuel worth this amount of money, and this is the
amount of VAT I paid.
Yes. So you claim there. But now KRA will be, the system will be a bit shocked. Because it will realize it is true, you could have bought that fuel, but the supplier did not indicate that when he was filing for his VAT returns. So this VAA, the Value Added Tax Automated System, will detect an inconsistency. And it will send an email to both of you, saying that you are saying you bought fuel from that petrol station. It is a no, unless you show us evidence that you did that. And now again you will be required to do what? To attach receipt to the ETR receipt, show proof of payment, and that's when they will be able to acknowledge that it is a valid transaction.
So to make it easier for the seller, is it for the seller?
Yes.
For both of them?
Yes.
It's always good to give out your KRA PIN when you're purchasing goods that are vatable?
Yes, I would say so, but it is not possible all the times.
It is not possible all the times.
Because it can be very, very tedious. It will be a very tedious process. You go to the supermarket and you want to buy a loaf of bread, or to buy something that is vatable. Then the person at the counter would be keen KRA pins every now and then.
So as long as you're able to prove that you did business with them, and show proof of payment. Proof of payment is the receipt now.
The receipt, or even sometimes the KRA can ask for a bank statement.
What if you paid through cash?
Again,
But again, there's a receipt.
There's a receipt. You'll have a way of proving that. And the reason the VAA was introduced is because it would help, or it has been helping KRA
Yes.
to detect tax cheats
Okay.
and people who commit fraud.
Yes.
You know, there's something called nil filers.
Yes.
There are people called referred to as nil filers.
Yeah. They file nil returns.
They file nil returns.
Yes.
They are registered for VAT obligation, but they file nil returns.
Okay.
And there are people who are called non-filers.
Non-filers, they don't file.
Yes, they are registered for VAT, but they don't file at all.
Okay.
And there's another category of business people referred to as the missing trader.
Missing trader.
Yes, these people, towards end of 2022,
Yes.
KRA actually suspended the VAT obligations for all the three categories of people: the nil filers, the non-filers, and the missing trader. The reason the non-filers were actually their pins were suspended is because KRA noticed maybe this is a person who registered for the VAT obligation by mistake.
Okay.
You remember by mistake?
Yes, yes.
You remember actually the person who should guide you on how to register or what obligations to add on your KRA PIN is a registered tax consultant.
Okay.
Someone who has the knowledge about the tax, the tax matters. But what people do, they just go to any cyber cafe and they tell the cyber attendant, I want you to open a PIN for me. And this person
will put everything.
We'll put all obligations on that PIN.
Yes.
Yeah, so KRA realized at some point there are this number of pins which are so many and they have not been filing.
Yes.
They don't file anything.
Yes.
Probably they don't exist. Probably some of them died. Probably some of them changed their citizenship. So they decided, let's block all these pins, let's suspend all of them. So in case there is one genuine case, a person who actually needs to be registered for VAT will come and will take him through a certain process so that we can reactivate his PIN.
Okay.
So if your PIN has been blocked by KRA or suspended by KRA because you have been filing nil returns and you should not have been filing nil returns or whether you should have been filing, KRA will ask you to give them a copy of the bank statements for the last 3 years.
Yes.
They will need your ID, a copy of your ID, a copy of your passport photo.
Yes.
They will also need a copy of the business licenses that you operate.
Yes.
So unless you provide KRA with those items, they cannot unblock your PIN. Of course, if you don't have business permits, you don't have business licenses, that's understandable. But now KRA will ask you, you have been filing nil returns, meaning that you have not been
doing business.
You have not been doing business, or you have not been filing anything. You are in the category of non-filers. Then bring us your bank statements.
Okay.
So if KRA, if you furnish KRA with your bank statements, and they see that contrary to what you have been declaring to them, you have been doing business. They see maybe for the last 1 year or 2 years your account has transacted more than 10 million or more than 1 million or whichever the amount, then KRA will automatically require you to pay VAT on the total amount that has passed through your account.
Wow.
If your account has passed
20
million, they will calculate 16% of 20 million.
And you will be required to pay.
Yes, which is 3,200,000.
Wow.
And they will also assume that this 20 million is profit that you made. This is sales.
Yeah.
So they will charge you 30% of that 20 million.
30% again?
Yes, KRA, they tell you that percent, because now that's a different form of tax.
Yes.
It will be now upon you to convince them that this 20 million, maybe it's money that you received for other purposes. Maybe you are the chairman of your committee in your village.
Yes, and you have a development plan somewhere.
Yes, or all the contributions for weddings, they are paid through your account. So you want to tell KRA, this is not my money. I'm the chairman.
I'm the chairman of
Chairmas.
Yes.
This money just passed through my account. If you are not,
you'll have to pay.
Yes, so you will have a very complicated task to convince to them. Yes. If you fail to convince them,
you must pay.
You are doomed. You must pay. Wow. And that's why now people, for doctors and lawyers, when someone is sick, and it is usually very sad at times, because people are usually advised to go to the doctors for screening, to be checked whether their bodies are functioning optimally.
Yeah.
But we usually don't adhere to that request or advice. So we go to the hospital when if it is a disease like cancer, it is at the fourth stage, where it is almost where it is very hard to treat.
Yes.
And if it is treatable, you will incur a lot of cost.
Yes.
So these people now run to people run to tax consultants,
yes,
to people who offer financial services, when now they
at that moment
when
they're in critical
when their PIN, KRA pins have been suspended and they are unable to do business. So once you come now to a tax consultant, he will ask you for those for those bank statements, yes, that the KRA has asked you. Then once now you have those bank statements, yes, you will now try to do something called forensic audit. Now I will be asking you, in 2020, I can see in the bank statement, yes, that you withdrew 30,000. What was this 30,000 for? Why are you buying things for your business?
Yes, yes,
was
yes,
it a personal? So we try to work backwards.
Yeah.
And it is very expensive. You will pay the tax consultant, the auditor, a lot of money.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that we try to reduce this amount of taxes that the KRA is asking you, because KRA is thinking the whole 20 million that passed through your account through that within that period is their money and its profit. So you have now to work with a registered tax consultant.
Okay.
So we work, and now we should be able now to reduce the tax the tax burden.
Yes, yes, yes. I get it.
We should be able to reduce the tax burden. So that is for someone who you are a non-filer, you are a nil filer, and now you want KRA to reactivate your account.
Reactivate your PIN.
To reactivate your PIN account. And now it is a process. So it is better, just like it is said, it's easier. Yeah. Prevention is better than cure. Yeah. Because the moment KRA blocks your account, your KRA PIN, yes, then you have to do so much to prove to them before they open.
Yes, yes,
they'll be asking, what about this? Maybe you did a fundraiser, for probably you had an incident that required you to do a fundraiser.
Yes, yes.
You now have to disclose all those details to KRA, which you can avoid by just doing the right thing. As people are usually advised to go to the clinics for a routine check, yes, yes, we also advise business people who could be listening to this conversation. It's good that you go and consult your taxpayer and just tell him what you do, yes, and he will advise you which taxes you are supposed to pay, yes, and at what point. Okay. And if someone doesn't know of one of those tax experts, yes, he can come to us.
He can come to us.
Yes, we are a registered company, yes, that offers tax consulting services. Okay. And we are also registered auditors. Yes. We operate under the company name called Maina Kamau and Associates. Yes. We are recognized by ISPAC. Yes. That is Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. Yes. We have a valid license and will advise someone appropriately. Okay. So there's another group of people that are usually tracked by the VA. Yes. They are called the missing trader. Yes, yes. The missing trader is when, now if I sold, my sales are about, let's say 10 million. Yeah. And if my sales are 10 million and I'm dealing purely with vertible goods and services, I'm supposed to pay KRA 16% of 10 million. Yes. Which is 1,600,000. But people devise an ethical means of reducing that tax obligation. Yes. So they collude with criminals, so that this criminal can go and open a KRA account, a KRA PIN, and through that KRA PIN, he will be saying that he sold goods worth to me of about 5 million. So that at the end of the day, when me I'm filing for my tax returns, I will tell KRA that yes,
this amount
yes,
to the missing trader,
from this person.
Yeah.
So this person, me, I say I sold items worth 10 million, and but when I was, and I'm supposed to pay 1.6 million to you, but before, for me to sell those goods, I had purchased some goods at a cost of 5 million. And the 16% of my 5 million is 800,000. So instead of paying you KRA 1.6 million, I will pay you 1.6 million minus 800,000, which is 800,000. For that kind of a fraud to happen, this other person who is pretending the missing trader,
yes,
who is pretending to have sold me some items of worth 5 million,
yes,
what he needs to do is to log into his KRA account and actually declare that sale from his side that he sold me goods worth 5 million.
Yes.
So even if he doesn't pay KRA, me have no problem. At least he has proven to KRA that we did business with him.
Okay.
So KRA with time has realized that this other person who is purporting to have done business with me actually does not file those returns to KRA. And after investigations, it has been found that those people are criminals.
They use maybe someone's ID to register for a PIN, or they get hold of someone's PIN, they use it?
Yes, to register for a fraudulent account.
Yes, yes.
So those people, they have even accumulated tax arrears of, there's one that had accumulated tax arrears of about 10 billion.
What?
He had made sales worth 10 billion. Yes, 10 billion.
Wow.
Because he looks for people who wants to do a shortcut.
Shortcut, yeah.
Yes, to follow a shortcut when doing returns for KRA.
Yes.
So are you looking for someone to legally claim that you have done business with? Yeah, then this person just go to his system and actually notifies KRA that he has sold you goods worth 5 million, 10 million, whichever.
Yeah.
So this other person, if he's unethical, he pays him something small, and then the tax burden of
reduces, of course. You have to pay something. Yeah.
Yes. So with time, KRA has come to notice that there are people who are transacting as missing traders.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, now after KRA has noticed, now they will say, when you made sales of 10 million, you claimed that you had bought purchases of 5 million to someone. And this someone, we have tried to look for him, he's not existent. We have not been able to find him. So we will block your PIN until you produce this missing person.
Serious?
Yes.
You're the one we're supposed to produce the person?
For sure you should
because
produce.
Because you did business with them.
If it's a petrol station that you fueled your car at, then you should be able to go and say this is the petrol station.
Yes.
If it is a hardware that you bought items from, you should be able to tell KRA this is the hardware. Right. But if KRA asks you, where is the physical business location for this person that you claim you bought 5 million worth of goods from?
And you don't know.
You don't know. Then KRA tells you, no, you cannot tell us, pay the taxes.
Wow. Yes. They'll tell you to pay the taxes.
And penalty.
And penalize you.
And actually it's a criminal offense. So when they tell you to pay the taxes, you better pay the taxes without making noise.
Yes, yes.
Lest they may not think to even add some more penalties on you.
Yes. Wow.
Hey. So the nil filers, the non-filers,
and the missing traders. So in short, you're telling people not to look for shortcuts.
Not to look for
shortcuts. To do the right thing.
Yes.
To look for the right people.
Yes.
And everything will be okay.
Yes, because shortcuts at the end of the day, they're usually very costly.
Yes.
And I keep saying that if you think knowledge or education is expensive, try ignorance.
Okay.
Try ignorance.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. I think it is quite clear. And for the client who called us, I think I would advise her to come to our offices. You're in a better position to explain and advise accordingly. Viewers, we hope that you've gotten something, you have learned something. In case you have any question, you can post the question to us or you can call us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Certified Business Solutions, so that we can share all this knowledge with you. Thank you and see you next time.